Hi, and welcome to this new episode in which you will discover how to sound better when singing in less than 30 seconds. Let's dive into it. Here we go. Hi, and welcome to this new episode. I am so excited that you are here because we will be looking at a few techniques that can help you immediately, sound better in less than 30 seconds. And many beginner singers, they don't even know that these little shifts in singing can have an incredible difference in your sound. And that's exactly what we will be focusing on today. Those little adjustments that you can do when singing that have a big impact on the end result. Also, many beginner singers, they believe that their voice is their voice and that there's nothing they can do to change it. And nothing is further from the truth. A beautiful example that you can look up on YouTube is called The Wheel of Musical Impressions. There's a video from Ariana Grande somewhere where she imitates singers like Shakira or Celine Dion and so on and so forth. And she really demonstrates how you can shift the color of your voice so that it sounds differently. And so today, we're going to be looking at a few vocal techniques that really can make a big difference in your singing. And it really requires a little tiny tweak. And that is what the trained singers truly understand and master. Because trained singers, they know that this 1% change in their vocal placement or in their mouth position can make an incredible shift in how their voice sound. And trained singers obviously are open to learn all about these different vocal techniques and really believe that your voice is something that evolves and that you can actually become better when you're using the right vocal techniques. My mission is to get you into that world of the trained singer so that you can become the best version of you as a singer. So, as you know, we always work from the 4 big pillars of the Sing Yourself to Freedom formula, which are vocal technique, which is all about experiencing vocal freedom. We have the mindset, which is all about that inner freedom. We have creativity, and we have performance, which is all about sharing and connecting with your listener as an artist. So today we're diving deeper into that first pillar, which is the vocal technique pillar. So before I'm sharing the technique with you that will make a huge impact on your singing, let's first assess how your voice sounds right now. So we're going to sing a chorus. We're going to be using Flowers by Miley Cyrus today, by the way. Then we're going to be applying the technique. And then we're going to be singing the chorus again. And then I want you to notice what's changed and how has this been different for you. So let's do that right now. So if you don't know how Flowers by Miley Cyrus goes, let me sing it for you. It goes like this. I can buy myself flowers, write my name in the sand, talk to myself for hours, say things you don't understand. I can take myself dancing, and I can hold my own hand. Yeah, I can love me better than you can. That's the part we're going to be working with. Now, if you don't know this, my invitation to you would be to rewind just a little bit and listen to it a few times until you can actually sing this along with me. So, that being said, I'm going to assume you have done that and that you can sing along with me. So let's try and do that together. So we're just learning the melody right now, making sure we know how this chorus is being sung. So let's try and do that together. Here we go. And I can buy myself flowers, write my name in the sand, talk to myself for hours, say things you don't understand. I can take myself dancing, and I can hold my own hand. Yeah, I can love me better than you can. Beautiful. All right, so I'm going to assume that you have just sang along with me. Now let's do that one more time. I'm going to hum so that you know where we are in the song. But this time, I want you to listen to your own voice and just assess what is present for me. How does my voice feel? So do you feel any tension, or do you feel very free when you're singing this? How does it feel when you're singing this? And second of all, I also want you to notice, how does it sound? Does it sound nice? Does it sound pretty? Does it sound a little bit too sharp? Like, what is the situation there? So how does it feel, and how does it sound? And I'm going to hum so that you know where we are in the song, but you can obviously sing with the actual words. Okay, feel and sound. We're just assessing, no judging. We're just noticing what's present for me at this time. Here we go. And beautiful. All right, so what's present for you? How does your voice feel, and how does your voice sound? If you want, you can even write it down, and let's put a number on that. On a scale from 1 to 10, how good did it feel? A 1 would be it felt horrible, lots of tension, lots of hoarseness. A 10 would be it felt amazing, free, and amazing. And then also on a scale from 1 to 10, how did your voice sound? A 1 would be that you're not happy with the sound at all, maybe even off pitch and shaky and stable, while a 10 would be that it sounds exactly how you want it to sound. So give yourself that number. And again, we're not judging. We're not here to judge ourselves today. We're just assessing what is present. Now, when you've done that, let's look at what is one little shift that you can put into practice that will have an impact on your overall vocal performance. So what we're going to be doing is use our 2 fingers. So I got my pointy finger and my middle finger, and I'm going to put them into my mouth like this. And so, well, let me show it like this. Like this. And what we're going so if you're, by the way, listening on the podcast and you might need a visual for this, it might be interesting to go over to our YouTube channel to get that visual. So what we're going to be doing here is basically activate what is called the bite vocal technique. And the idea is that we use our fingers to create more space in our mouth. And one way to play with vocal color is to adjust how that space in our mouth and vocal tract is regarding size. So now we're making it bigger. A bigger space means warmer vocal colors, and oftentimes also easier to sing the higher notes. So we're going to put our 2 fingers in our mouth and sing that chorus in that way. I can wash your flowers. It's gonna sound really weird because you cannot pronounce the words. That's okay. That's not our aim. We just want to feel that openness in the back of our throat and see what that means for us. See if that helps us to enhance our singing, basically. So let's try and do that together. Now, the thing is, notice if you bite down on your finger, we don't want to have that. That means you have some jaw tension. So really release the tension all the way down so that you have an open mouth, open throat, all those things. Okay, let's try that together. 1, 2, 3, and I can wash your flowers. Talk to myself for hours, say things you don't understand. Beautiful. How was that for you? Now, it might sound a bit weird, and that's totally okay. I'm glad you're doing this with me, that you're open to learning new things. The idea is that you're starting to feel that the placement is different. So if I would sing, I can buy myself flowers, compared to that feeling that I feel when it's on the fingers, I can buy myself flowers. It's a total different placement, because that with the first one, I have a very small vocal tract, and with the second one, everything opens up, and then obviously you hear the difference, right? So this is where we're going to now put that into practice. We're going to sing that one more time. We're going to start off with our fingers in our mouths, and then around like the second sentence, we're going to take away the fingers. The challenge here is that you need to keep the same placement. In other words, we're using the fingers as kind of an onset of finding that placement. Then we're taking away the fingers, but the invitation here, or the challenge here that I'm giving you, is to stay in that same vocal placement. In other words, we're going to be in the bite position. Let's try that together. And I can buy myself flowers while I'm in the sun. Now stay there, take away the fingers. Talk to myself for hours. Say things you don't understand. I can take myself dancing, and I can hold my own hand. Yeah, I can love me better than you can. Nice. Okay. So hopefully you have felt that bite placement, that openness. And for some of us, it is really hard to keep that placement active. It's really easy for us to go back to our old habits and old ways of singing and go back into that closed position. We want to fight that. We really want to stay in that newfound placement. So we're going to assess again. I'm going to be humming so that you know where we are in the song. My invitation to you is that you're singing this chorus one last time, applying what you've learned. So applying that open sound, and just listen to your voice. We're just assessing. I want you to listen to, how does it sound? Like, how did my sound change? Am I more happy with this or less happy? And how does it feel? Do I have more tension, less tension, more freedom, less freedom? So how does it feel? And how does it sound when applying that bite technique? Okay, I'm gonna be humming, but you can use the lyrics, okay? Here we go. And virtual high five. Well done, well done. Let me know, how was this different than the first assessment? So if now you have to give yourself a number from 1 to 10, 1 being it felt horrible, it felt tensed, and 10 being it felt free and really great. So how did it feel on a scale from 1 to 10? And how did it sound on a scale from 1 to 10? And now compare those numbers. And there might be 2 options. Well, 3. Maybe the numbers have stayed the same. Great, that tells us something. Maybe the numbers have improved. That's great too. That tells us something too. Maybe the numbers have decreased. That tells us something too. So we're not judging. We're just seeing what's present. So if the numbers have decreased or stayed the same, that tells us that this technique might not be working for you. And that's fine. Just leave it aside for now. Maybe in a different context, it will help you more than in this one. And that's okay. If the numbers have increased, well, that tells us that this technique really does work for you in this particular context. So the whole idea is that now we're starting to build up what I call a vocal technique backpack. So if this technique has improved your scores, please hold on to it. Put it in your backpack so that you can take it out whenever you need it. The idea is that you have this backpack filled with different techniques and tools to help you throughout your singing journey. And then when you're singing a song and you're finding yourself being challenged by something, whether that's the high notes or low notes or maybe a vocal effect, you're going into your backpack and you're looking at, okay, what can I use that is in my backpack that can help me overcome this challenge within the song. And today we've looked at one technique, which is bite. You can imagine that there are many more to discover. So here's my invitation to you, because I do want to move forward with this. And I want to help you fill up that backpack. In a few days, I'm actually organizing a free training all around singing high notes easily and expanding your range. So low notes will be covered as well. My invitation to you is to go get registered for that training, because we dive deeper into another vocal technique, not bites. We're going to be looking at mixed voice, which is another technique you can add into your backpack so that you can then use that in a song and sing more freely. And ultimately, the more techniques you have into your backpack, the more vocal freedom you get to experience. And again, today we've only covered one. There are so many to discover. So click the link below, click the link in the description to register for that training. I'll see you there. We're going to do some practical exercises in that training as well. I really can't wait to keep working with you in that context. And so go do that, click the link, and thank you so much for having been here. I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate that you're investing your time in developing your voice. So thank yourself as well, because this is not nothing. So thank you for having been here, and I'll see you next week. Bye.